Cypruses. We're going.
We're going.
We're going. We're gaming. We're streaming. I'll pull it up on my phone to make sure it's live.
Gamer time? Wowza.
Gamer time. Gamer time.
It is apparently, in fact, gamer time. So. Yeah! Let me scream in the funny.
Indeed.
Oh.
Broza. Wowza, wowza.
My
That's
God.
very happening.
Mm-hmm. Give it a minute or two for everything new. Initialize. Get it ready.
We got it. We got it. Woo!
Yeah.
Lamau, Elmeo.
Alright. Well then. Hello everyone, and welcome to another iteration of Cyprus's Dimensional Gauntlet, a spin-off of our Destruction Bench Agreement DBA weekly tabletop RPG running the anime campaign or Epithet System. Within the campaign, there is the Bloodstone Island Reformation Program, and as part of it, there is one Cyprus Florence who, in an episode of Destruction Bench Agreement, came to DBA as sort of like, hey, I'll go and help test out your help test out some of your members here, and you can go to my spaces because that's their power. And basically, ever since then, they've been providing themselves as essentially, hey, various DBA contestants can sign up, and if they want to, go here and train in one of my spaces, and that's what this side series is all about. And it's basically little things with anywhere from like 1 to 4-ish different characters that are going in for little training sessions or what have you. So we have the person that runs these things, Kakapo.
Hello, everyone. It's me, Kakapo. In honor of our fallen comrade today, I have set this up in a very short amount of time, but this was something I've had on the back burner for a while now. But just, did most of the preparations today. But even still, I hope this is enjoyable enough. I've been excited for, this specific one for a bit, just because I think the general aesthetic of it should be pretty fun, and also Taliesin's cool. So yeah.
Speaking of, hey everyone, I'm Patronix or Soleil, whichever you prefer. Today I'm playing Taliesin Sherwood. He's been around DBA a fair amount of times. Superhero, both real and actor. He's a wacky little guy, and he's here for training in one of Cyprus's spaces. Along with us today, we also have James, who, because it seems as if suddenly my graphics, my video drivers are out of date, my graphics card shit, seems like I needed to update that, so wouldn't let me stream. So thanks, James, for jumping in last minute to do this while my stupid ass couldn't.
Yep.
Thanks, James.
Yeah, thank
you.
Also,
have problems, let me know and I'll fix things.
Yep.
Yeah. Also, Taliesin is off center from the screen. If
Yes, let me
yeah.
Alright. Well, with all that being said, if you're new around here, you're enjoying yourself, and you want to know when, where, how, you can catch up with more of the things we're doing here on this Twitch channel, whether it's more DBA, other tabletops, or what have you. You should join our funky Discord server. It's the community Discord, so you can go there to get notified whenever we're going live, planning on going live, post memes and fan art relating to it, ask questions, talk with people involved. It's community Discord, so if you want to be involved with the community and know what's going on here, you should join it. And just this further quick clarification, yes, I am the only player here today as Taliesin. So,
it's a solo run. Those are really fun. I love doing them.
So, yeah, make sure to join that Discord if you haven't already, and it suits your fancy, of course, along with following and subbing to the channel itself always helps. So, unless I'm forgetting anything, I think we're good to go.
Yeah. So, first, before you begin, I'd like to ask you, Soleil, how's Taliesin been doing? What's been going on with him in the past while since we've last seen him?
Well,
Uh,
the last time that we saw him in proper DBA, I believe, is still Broken Promise, where he was
yes.
in a little bit of a not fantastic state after it. Since
Yeah.
then, he's managed to recover from his semi-bedridden state, although that was mainly just from exhaustion. Or maybe there's more, I don't know, ask Rob, I guess. So there's all that going on. But after that happened, he got back up on his feet, probably took a little bit of a break from crazy shenanigans, and hasn't been around DBA all too much since. He's been in like a bounty, maybe two, since then, the data bounties, as we do them, and has been training up a little bit still because he's still a bit encumbered after stuff that's happened with him and Rainbow. So he's sort of been taking it a little bit more low key, but still going for training because he needs to build himself back up. And that's where this Cyprus little thing comes in. It's just one more part of his thing that he's doing as he's been, sort of jumping back, recouping from the shit with Broken Promise. And before
Indeed. Yeah. And I imagine Taliesin signs up and arrives on this date at the weird golden stained lexical fields of that are pretty open and sparse, and up ahead he would see Cyprus just standing there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just sort of notice Cyprus, and as he does, sort of just looking around the field, like, okay, I see, like remote area kind of a dealio. As he would, given enough time, he's pretty much, I'd say, precisely on time. Really
Yeah.
ready for this kind of a thing. Just sort of would make his way up. What's Cyprus doing? Are they just like looking at Taliesin as he's walking up? What's going on?
They're like, they don't have their lawn chair around. They're just sort of they're in a weird sort of like pose where they're like crisscross applesauce but like floating and like kind of twirling their staff around. And like probably once you came into view, they're kind of like looking over at you, probably gave a wave, but they're just vibing around. Yeah.
And in that case, as Cyprus gives a wave, Taliesin would give one back as he eventually gets close enough. Hello.
Hello there. Taliesin, was it?
Yes.
Pleasure. Kind of just steps down on the ground and extends a hand. Pretty muscular individual.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Taliesin would take the hand and shake it. I presume this is where you've been doing all of these gauntlets, as you've been calling them, with the other DBA members, yes?
Yes, indeed. After all, I mean, my power takes effect in the real world. Don't want any force getting swallowed up by my power. Would be quite inconvenient for anyone who finds himself inside. So,
yes, makes sense. I've been looking into.
Yeah, just managed to rent out this field to host these. Yes, as you were saying.
Well, ever since I signed up, I've been looking into as much as I could regarding you. Since you made an appearance on DBA, I was able to at least get a little bit of a preview from that, as well as, well, quite honestly, before that I was looking into it a little bit. You are, just to clarify, you are part of the Bloodstone Island Reformation Program, yes?
That's the very one.
Yes, I met Union once in one of the Destruction Bench Agreements, data bounties, as they call them.
Yes, him, yeah. Just sort of looks off to the side, not like in a way of just like, oh, I don't like that guy, but just, like, just sort of like staring off a bit.
I suppose I've been curious ever since I met him, since, well, from what I understood before he went into that program, well, certainly a renowned criminal of some kind. It is a reformation program, after all. How exactly has that been working?
Just sort of like thinks.
To clarify, I have no ill will towards any of you. If you're doing some sort of reformation program, clearly it seems to be working. Union seemed to be very amicable, and from what I've been able to tell,
Yes.
nothing bad has happened since. So,
Yeah. Union's definitely one of the nicer ones too. Just sort of strokes their chin. Hmm. Yeah, I don't really interact with many of them. It's not my situation. Mainly the reason why I'm doing this here is, well, guess you could say good old Warden's altruism, bled off on me. And DBA as an institution fascinates me in a way, but, uh,
well,
as
in
for,
that
as for, as, but that's not your question, just sort of
well,
waves.
that wasn't the current question, but to be
Yeah,
quite
that
frank
wasn't the
with you,
current question, I'm off on a tangent,
well,
sorry about that.
all I was gonna say is, to be quite frank, you answered my second question before I even got there. So,
Oh, glad to hear it. But as I was going to get to, uh, Reformation program seems to be working out well. From what I can tell, uh, you are aware of Izuru Andromeda, the Warden revealed himself to DBA a few
yes,
times.
I'm fairly aware. As I mentioned, I've been looking through Destruction Bench Agreement, its episodes, and any public information regarding it that has been revealed
Yeah.
there as such. So I'm well aware of them.
Well, just sort of twirls and kind of just steps off and kind of just thinks, uh, guy's been doing a good job. I'd say if anyone were to run a Reformation program, you'd probably pick him. I mean, this guy's got a natural charisma. And I guess for the more wily members of the program, he's found a way to properly put their skills in the right place, per se. I guess that's the best way I can phrase it, if I were to properly describe how I just sort of thinks about it. Properly describe what I've seen.
I see.
Again, I don't interact with them any more than the other Pentagon of Power members, but
Right.
yeah.
I believe that some details, if I recall correctly, about that were brought up when your sort of snaps his fingers sort of silently, like quietly, like not actually snapping, but making the motion like to
Yeah.
himself by his side. When your
Yeah.
one member, Dwayne, yes, he was on an episode where it went into a little bit of what goes on the island.
Yes, indeed. Yeah, that was the point where we really felt like it was time to, no reason to hide from DBA anymore. Per
Well,
se.
in that case, just to clarify, I guess I'm simply curious. Is it truly just altruism that guides your leader and drives him, motivates him to run this kind of a program? I mean, it seems like it's quite the undertaking, but at the same time, grabbing renowned criminals and adding them to a liege of your own certainly seems like building up a repertoire of many strong people. I guess I'm simply curious if you know any sort of greater goals of your warden, or if it's simply altruism as it seems.
And again, just sort of contemplative, just sort of walks sort of the other way and thinks a bit. Uh, Izuru's the complicated guy. It's definitely, from what I can tell, altruism is definitely a very big part of it, but, if I were to guess anything else, he's trying to, like, they're trying to think of, like, how exactly to, like, phrase it, because it's like, they're clearly talking about someone that isn't them.
Well, yeah.
You know? Uh. Again, complex guy. And
I understand.
and yeah, if he and I have anything in common, it's that neither of us were really happy with our pasts. So, if I had to guess anything, maybe he's trying to make up something from that.
I see.
Although,
So it's motivated from some dissatisfaction, reforming others much as he wishes to reform himself.
something like that. Eh. Again, I don't really know. Didn't know the guy back then, but we have a few stuff in common, so just sort of like waves hand. Not a question for me, but I hope that was satisfactory enough.
No, no, I
Hmm.
was simply curious what information you had regarding, well, just the state of how and why your organization exists. It's something quite unusual. Normally, for something like this, it would be government sanctioned, something of the sort, having a government trying to reform ne'er do wells and what have you in order for some other goal to be established, especially whether it's more altruistic of simply rehabilitating them or quite frankly usually it ends up being for some ulterior motive. But from what I can tell, you and your organization are largely disconnected from any sort of greater power. You're sort of isolated on your own, so I was simply curious what was motivating all of you.
I mean, that's fair. But I guess the one correction what I would make is that, I mean, we're technically a government program. Zaru's technically the governor of Bloodstone Island, so,
Well,
or
yes,
I guess,
fair enough,
or
but
I guess, correction, co-governor. We still have the native chieftain, so there's that.
yes, yes, but
Mhm.
I suppose I was more so. In your case, it's less that you're reforming people of your nation and more that you are grabbing outside sources and reforming them within your nation, which is something that, again, is rather unusual. I was simply curious about the nature of it.
Again. Ugh. Well, I can answer some things. Can't answer everything. That's not my place, after all. However, I mean, you're a pretty high-profile figure yourself. I imagine you could schedule a meeting with the big guy and talk things out if you're really curious.
I suppose if I if I really could if I wanted to. I suppose I could at some point. He like puts a hand to his chin. I'm not sure it's entirely necessary. It was merely an idle curiosity. If no one has been going to take all of you down, clearly they're. I mean, it's not like you're all very secretive, at least not much anymore, considering DBA. So if someone wanted you down, they would some sort of steps and measures would be going towards that. So
Ah,
at least at the
ah,
moment, it
ha,
seems
ha.
that.
Oh, oh, they can try.
Well, yes, but there would at least be attempts, I'm sure. So
Sure, yes.
at the very least, it doesn't seem as if your organization is harming anything, and there's no reason to necessarily go much further at the moment. I don't believe.
Sure. We try not to stick our business into anywhere where we don't belong unless it's like absolutely necessary. Like if we find the worst person on earth, of course some of us are gonna deal with them. That's taking down bad people is all about recognizing them, and that's the reformation process after all. Something I had to go through. But hmm. But other than that, I'm just here to help you guys along. Just sort of twirling their staff.
Well,
Anyways, do you want to like
well, yes.
get to turning?
I was going to say, if you're here to provide training out of nothing but altruism, who am I to refuse such an offer? I suppose I'm ready whenever you are.
Well, sure thing. Well, let's get to it then. as he as they just sort of again take their staff in a powerful just sort of like piece of their epithet just sort of pops out of their sphere and they sort of slam their staff into it. Midland falls as let's fuck where's the map? Uh,
You'll find it, I'm sure.
yeah, as Taliesin is transported. Now the first
Yep.
Now the first thing it's meant to be black.
Yep. Yep. Okay.
The first thing that hits Taliesin is the bright light and the salt, not the salty, but like the smell of a just fresh water, if that makes sense, and like the sound of a crashing waterfall. As he takes a look around him, he finds himself here.
I see. Just would sort of look around as he finds himself in this isolated island, takes a look at the waterfall and around it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it looks like the cameras certainly weren't lying. This is a bona fide pocket dimension, all right. He sort of, again, looks around, taking note of the shining light.
Yeah. Just seems to be that, like, sort of, there's no sun, but there's, like, artificial light coming from where a sun would be, and it's permanently fixated in that particular area.
Yeah.
The water is rapidly moving in this direction, and allow me to post an important thing to keep in mind for this.
Okay.
Every turn a unit is in the water, they move once space in the current's direction. Their movement is half when moving against it, and the current is moving up. So,
all right. Taliesin would just sort of like kneel down, pick up some of the sand, assuming that, you know, it feels very real, of course, but he just wants to check.
Of course, yes.
Yeah.
Like, inspecting it very, very closely, it seems to be like if Taliesin like really strains his eyes, he can kind of like see that it's not like really made of sand grains, but like weird dust sort of stuff that seems to be constructing everything. But it's like Cyprus's flex of power definitely makes sense. Someone of an inordinate amount of proficiency probably had to make this area.
Yeah. He would, you know, straighten himself back up as he, you know, retracts from the kneeling position. Well, yes, I mean, if someone's able to manifest this kind of a thing at a whim, it really is their epithet, isn't it? He sort of would let go of the sand as he looks around a little bit more.
Yeah.
But
one more thing to keep note of. Taliesin, you look around and you just see a very quick, like, streak, like a seemingly large fin just seems to breach the surface of the water and quickly submerge itself. Very, very fast. Upon close inspection, you may see this a couple more times, coming from the direction of the waterfall, but...
As in, like, it's, like, moving down with the current, or...
Down with the current, yes.
And is it basically, like, it goes, like, here, dips back in, then goes here, dips back in, or is it, like, goes here, dips back in, then there's one over here, and then there's, like, one over here, and it's, like...
It goes around that area, yes.
Okay, but I guess, like, does it seem to be following a singular path of motion, or does it appear as if it's, like, multiple of them, or teleporting around, or some horseshit?
Multiple of them.
Multiple, got it. Alright.
Yeah. Just every now and then.
Okay.
But as you're sort of taking in the surroundings, you kind of just see standing on the rock. Standing on the rock up there.
Let's see.
Or... this individual. Up here.
Oh, top left. Got it. Okay.
Yeah. Just seemingly like a humanoid fish-like person with a giant sail imitating hair and a black suit. Hey!
Just to clarify, did it seem as if they've just been there, or did they just jump out of the water to get there?
It seems like they came... It didn't seem like they jumped out of the water, but it seems like they've recently jumped there from this direction.
Okay. Yeah, alright, gotcha.
Hey there.
Taliesin turns his head and looks over. Ah, you must be the opponent I'm set to fight.
Ah, sounds like it. Taliesin, right?
That's me.
Jumps.
And you are?
Ah. Just jumps there. They call me Ziphius, the Executioner. But just Ziphius will do.
Ziphius, huh?
Indeed.
Are you a friend of Cyprus's or one of their creations?
I'm I guess I'm a part of their epithet, yeah.
Understood.
That's how us denizens in these spaces work, after all. So, how have things been? I've only heard very interesting things about you from Cyprus.
Well, to be frank, things have been rather, well, on one hand, hectic lately, but on the other, I've been trying to take it a little more easy than I have been. I've been in a little bit of a state ever since, well, multiple things that have been kind of, let's say, holding me back, and that's why I'm training here, to try and get back into the action of things, if you know what I mean.
Gotcha. That's pretty good. I guess I have another question for you. How do you view the art of the sword? I face many a swordsman while in here. I guess I say while I'm in here. This is my home, and I can't really get out. That's not how this epithet works, but
He, upon hearing that, sort of like takes a second, takes a second looking away from him for a moment, and then would look back. While swordplay, much like other martial arts, have many complicated nuances to them and can be much an art form, swordplay in particular requires a lot of technique unless you're simply flailing, which I suppose can be effective, but it's a very precise art. However, at least for me, while said art is precise and something to be practiced, ultimately it is a means to an end.
I see. Interesting. A lot more. I guess you see it more as a logistic. That's fine.
I understand fully well the intricacies of it, don't mind you me. And I like to think I'm fairly proficient. However,
I never said that.
However, for me, what's most important is what I'm able to do because of the art of swordplay. Much less the beauty in it of itself.
That's a pretty good answer. Ah. Well, you seem to be quite an interesting guy. Let's see that in action. If you wouldn't mind, just sort of motions to the edge of the arena. Let's meet in the middle. Or yeah, let's meet in the middle.
Are we not in the middle right now?
I mean, just he was pointing more towards like this area.
I see. Equal footing at the start.
Yes. Only fair, right?
He just manifests his epithet construct mask as an aura of light manifests around him, constantly brimming.
Oh, flashy. Well, let's get this started then. All right, Kajikia, Makaira, come to me. As you noticed this whole time that they haven't had any swords by their side, but as they extend their arms, two sort of shapes, blindingly fast, approaching from the waterfall, jump out of the water, and Ziphius catches them perfectly in his hands. Two giant swordfish, one blue, one white, being perfectly motioned as his own dual-wielding blades, as he sort of just takes a stance and looks at you, ready to fight.
And at the same point, Taliesin reaches his one arm out and holds one curled in front of him. To his one hand, his right hand, a sword construct of light manifests that he grabs, swinging his arm in one swift motion, as on his other arm, a shield manifests.
And let's roll initiative. 1v1 system. Let's go, baby.
Alrighty.
You go first.
Alright.
How do you start us off?
How do I start us off? Well, in that case, here's what we're gonna do, right? Because almost certainly he's going to try and dart into the water, but it is still important, I think, to set this up. So, what Taliesin is going to do is I'm going to go for mirror image, right? Try and set that up, because let me check how it works again. It's been a little bit. Yeah. Yep, because I create a mirror images up to my base movement speed by paying 1 per image. So I'm gonna create 2 images with mirror image in the process, and let's see if it works as I'm going to position myself around. So let's go for it. Where is mirror image? There it is. So 2 cost, 10. All right. So we're gonna go Bippy, Boppy, and as this is happening, from behind Taliesin, 2 mirror images of him appear. So let me go ahead, grabby these guys, put them in the proper alt. And once Taliesin reaches this position, they sort of all scramble within each other, zooming through in an attempt to, distract Zephyus here and, mix him up. As we're gonna move basically here. This guy's gonna go here, and or you know what? This one will go here, and this one will move here. So there's that. What Taliesin is going to do is then What Taliesin is going to do is I am going to then use my main action to produce a guiding light area centered on Zephyus. And if that succeeds, after Taliesin does that, we'll see how this goes. But this is the 1v1, so we'll see how he reacts to this.
Yeah, of course.
It's a nat 1, so no.
Nat 1? Well,
Yes.
Zephyus kind of just, like, as you sort of, like, flank him and, like, try to get something off, Zephyus just kind of looks at the clouds. Oh, trying to surround me so I go into the water. You think so little of me, though. But let me introduce you to the main 2 mechanics for Zephyus. Speed. I am speed. As, for every 2 movement that Zephyus has active, they have +1 to dodge rolls, and opponents have a -1 to dodging their attacks. And their just acrobatic feats are just a lot more greater, and that can boost their shit exponentially.
Alright.
And right now, they have... let me think. They have 6 movement right now, so... that means... what's a good icon for movement?
Probably
6.
the boot.
Or, yeah, the boot. That works. They have 6 movement, and also, even still, getting in the water is still dangerous, so...
I mean, yeah. No, understood.
Yep. And yeah, I'll worry about that later, but... Zephyus is just going to turn around, and as a reaction to the guiding light, is just going to stab you with... Kajikia!
Alright.
Just slashes you for 6, and immediately afterwards goes in for a Makaya.
Well, real quick, because it's kind of important, right?
Yeah.
So, which one is he targeting?
Which one is he targeting?
Yes.
He would be targeting this one.
Alright. No kidding, he's targeting the real one. So, considering how this is working, right? I'll use my anytime in conjunction if necessary, right? But the way this works is that on my turn, I have a once per round free action to swap with one of the mirror images. So I'll use that if I need to use my anytime in conjunction. Let me know.
Yep.
Normally I wouldn't need to roll for this, but I assume I will because it's contesting, because this isn't normally how this works.
So.
Alright, a 9, so I don't know.
I'll say if you successfully use your anytime as well, you got it.
Alright, hero signal, so let's go. Bada bing. This is not going to be stay vigilant.
You got it. As
Alright.
you see Zephyus attempt to slash, as it seems like they go in like with a strong hit from the first one, and then like a slash of pure wind from the second one. Like, seemingly like a ranged attack. Much weaker, but still effective. However, noticing this, your hero instincts flare up, and you switch over, jumping out of the way. Ha! Speedy one.
And if that works, as these swap, Zephyus would still hit this one, so it explodes into light. But as Taliesin switches over, wordlessly, he's going to go for a slash on Zephyus, because that's how this ability works. So here comes Truth Saber. Ah, if I had gotten Guiding Light off, that would have been a crit. Damn, dude.
Damn.
But it still will hit.
All right. Just as you're going for this next one, Zephyr just kind of looks over and just quickly flashes a sword in your eyes, perfectly reflecting off the sun. Huh? Is that true, Soleil?
I mean, the idea is that the mirror images are effective, like, perfect clones. So it would basically be that I am attacking him at the same time as he is slashing through this guy, right? Because that's how my anytime works. So if you want to still have him do something, I imagine it might be slightly more difficult, but...
Yeah, it's slightly more difficult, but keep in mind, Zephyrs' whole thing is speed.
Fair enough.
So I'll give him a roll at disadvantage, because you are moving at the speed of light, or... light
Some
speed
very,
switch,
very
whatever.
fast speeds, yes. But
Yeah, very fast speeds, so... Dawn's Glint. Okay, no, yeah. Precisely that. He tries to, like, flash this... He tries to flash the sun, right? Kind of, like, notices at the last second. Tries to flash light. However, you're a, However, light's your domain, and you're not distracted by it at all as you go in and... for the hit. How much damage does that deal?
At base, it does 5.
5.
And grants me a hero rank, because I am adjacent to it.
Good one. As he just sort of like... then sort of strains himself as he's going to momentum boost. He's going to spend 4 to get an extra 2 movement. That'll be him.
Okay, so who's in the advantage?
You have the advantage here.
All right. It's very important for me to do this. So first off, because I'm already running low on stamina, you know, haha, the weakness. So at least I say running low. I'm low enough to where this guy hits hard enough to where I'm not feeling good about it. So what I'm gonna try and do is I need to try and set up as many safety nets as I can. So I'm gonna try and go for Reflect Radiance. Set up a crystal in this space directly south of Zephyrs. So let's set that up.
And yeah, you got it.
Alrighty. So bada bing kind of blends in with my aura right now, but that's fine. So
I can make something else for you.
I mean, no, it's fine. But basically, it takes in light from actions that people within 3 perform near it. I'm then going to use my main action yet again to try and set up Guiding Light centered on Zephyrs. That's a nat 20. Hey.
Yeah, you got it. You want me to play your crit theme?
I would like it, but you know.
Indeed. Let me find it first, but I'll get to it. Continue explaining your stuff.
Yeah. So first off, what this does is Taliesin, after using one hand to create a crystal as per Reflect Radiance, raises his other hand, which of course the other double, mimics as to, be to trickery purposes, as a pillar of light erupts centered on Zephyrs. So what this is going to do initially, right, is that it will be dealing 2 damage to you, and it will heal me for 2.
Cool.
And everyone inside gains 2 hero ranks immediately. I guess, I don't know if you want to boost that to 4, but if you do, then...
I'll boost that to 4, yeah. Especially since it's a 1v1. So.
So we're gonna everyone's gonna get 4 hero ranks, and by everyone I mean Taliesin and Zephyus.
Yeah, of course,
so
of course. What do you use for? Or I guess the
I
bright
use the
spot,
yellow. Yeah.
Yep. Makes sense.
Yep. So there's this. There are a couple of things I can try and decide upon now. I think it would be a smart idea. I'm gonna try and spend. I'm gonna try and spend I'm gonna try and spend 1 hero rank on Strike Them Down to try and give it its funny property. I say that. You should probably react to Guiding Light with the guy. I know it's a nat 20, but this is 1v1. It's weird. You should probably...
I'll let you... I mean, if you're going to do anything else, and since it's a nat 20, I'll just say, Taliesin, you raise your arms up, and before you can even react, you just set it down.
All right,
so
I'll take
do whatever
that.
you're going to do next, and I'll react to that.
Yep. Well, first off, I'm just going to spend the 1 hero rank, or at least attempt to, on Strike Them Down. So, Strike...
Yep.
Spent 1, 12. All right, so I'll spend 1 on bringing that to level 2. So it now has the funny thing where it's the spiraling thing where it activates. So that's an important thing to set up. That was my main action to do, but just because of the circumstance, I'll have Taliesin go, and because this is funny sword fighting anyway, we'll be clever here, and I'm gonna try and have it so that directly beneath Zephyus, we're just gonna have a sword try and zoom up and pierce into him. So that's my terraforming shit. Unless, did I specify that was a bonus action? No, it's a free action because action economy horseshit. So here comes the sword pierce. That's a 15.
A 15? All right, he's gonna react to that by going for just sort of like defensively like blocking, like, and just sort of like bringing the swords towards him, and then he sort of just suddenly like whistles as a swordfish just comes out of the water and slashes that sword itself. Going kind of like in a this sort of area.
Yep.
Getting right between you two.
All right.
Underhanded aqua assault.
Got it. So, yep. Basically zooms in sword clash. I'm gonna roll to store that sword clash within the crystal as the, try and store a zooming swordfish. So Reflect Radiance crystal, if that works, now has swordfish zoom stored into it.
So does the swordfish get like absorbed into it, or is it still like...
No, it absorbs the light from the attack, right? It's basically like the way it attacks is that it basically like like Roche is saying, it effectively records the action.
It's like taking in the reflection and like saving it. Okay, yeah, I get it.
Yeah,
that's pretty cool.
Yep. So it does that. That is now stored as the swords clash. I see. You have more of them as he, as the swordfish zooms by and clashes. What Taliesin...
I called Marlin Falls for no reason.
What Taliesin will do then is he and the clone are gonna do a little sneaky beaky. We're gonna go zoom. Taliesin will move to this corner. This guy's gonna move here. I'll use the once per round free action before anything happens. Swap over to the other one. So there's that. So Taliesin is, technically this one now. But of course, no visual signs of that. I don't know how we're proceeding from here, but
I would say we're kind of like, since it was the clash, let's roll off again.
All right, sounds good. I'll reroll initiative then.
Yeah, perfect. Oh, I see. Nice. Let me just... Cool. Okay. Yeah, you're on top again. Good job, Tally.
Yep. Alrighty. In this case, let's start doing something funky, right? What Tally's gonna do with his main action is I'm gonna go for Strike Them Down. Have a sword zoom down and pierce into this guy, right? I finally get to use this part of Strike Them Down. I'm gonna try and because it's able to. It's a bit funky with how he works, right? But I'm gonna try and cleanse him of the movement increase buff, because strike them down can cleanse buffs and debuffs. It's never come up before, but it can do that. So I'm gonna use that as my main action. Let's go for strike them down. That is a 16.
A 16. Zephyrs is going to respond with a simple... Not gonna pull out that one yet. Let's go with a, Let's go with a, Yeah, let's do this. As Zephyrs just sort of, like, brandishes the white swordfish. Makaira! Kaijika! Kajikia, I mean, yeah. But Makaira just... Yeah, I'm so sorry, Soleil.
No, it's fine. What are you doing?
But Zephyrs just sort of like... I imagine on the nat 20. Makaira just thrusts into Taliesin and completely annihilates it. Realizing it's a fake, however, in the same instance, Zephyrs just sort of looks around and slashes with Kajikia, taking in some water and like digging into like Taliesin from like all sides using like a warbending bullet technique. A lot less effective, however.
All right,
still does damage.
Fair enough. He's doing this as he slashes through the one. That gives Taliesin enough time for reaction speed to recognize, all right, he's going to try and stop this by interrupting him. So as strike them down is being manifested, I'm going to use my other hand to try and manifest the swordfish stored in the crystal and have it fire out into his side as he's going to slash me to interrupt him. So here's that. Not too good.
Yeah, no. It seems that the light from the arena is kind of futzing with its ability to produce light, which you're not used to. So you're gonna, like, it's probably going to be better when you use it the next time. However, for now, take 4 damage.
4 damage. Does strike them down go through?
Strike them down. Was it a nat 20?
It was a 16, but...
well, no, I'm talking about the counter.
Yeah.
The counter was a nat 20, however, that wasn't the real Taliesin. So I'd say, as a compromise, let's get rid of 1, which is still really good.
Does it hit him for any damage, though?
Yeah. How much does it normally do?
It normally does 4.
And I'll say that part goes through.
Okay. In that case, a couple of things happen. For one, I get a hero rank because the guiding light area counts as an aura, which does not stack with my base aura, unfortunately. But it does count as one, so I'm going to get a hero rank, put it on myself. So that happens. Second thing that's going to happen. As per strike them down, the sword is now stuck in him, wherever it hit, right? Which is producing another instance of my aura. So it is now stuck in him. He can remove it, but, you know, that might take him a little bit of time. And yes, he's quick, but in this, every second counts. So there is another version of his aura there. And similarly, since it hit, there is now a second spectral sword floating around him that it's weird with the 1v1s, but during his next action, it's going to zoom in and try and hit him, which will futz with whatever his next action is. Because that's how that works. So, similarly, one more thing, because wacky, I managed to hit him while he is within the funny strike them down aura. So, well, actually, I say that. Link Strike isn't actually ever going to apply because of how rounds work here. So you know what? I mean, it can apply because I can use my anytime. Let's just roll it.
We don't... Or what?
Alright, it doesn't apply anyway. That's fine.
Yeah.
So this time it's fine. Okay. All this, so the 4 damage goes through, some of his movement is cleansed, he has the sword in him, and then a second spectral sword is floating around him. Taliesin is then going to, let's say, spend 1 hero rank, or should I do... You know what? No. Let's spend 3 of my hero ranks on boosting Guiding Light up to level 3. So GL spending 3. All right. So there's that. Let me post the level up effects because that is the Guiding Light assist, not the level up. This so I can, tie a unit to the thing. I'm tying, wouldn't you know it, myself to the thing to gain extra benefits whenever I use its thing. And similarly, whenever a unit starts their turn in the area or isn't at the start of Taliesin's turn, they gain 1 hero rank and also grants 1 hero rank to the unit that is connected to the area. So effectively, so long as basically I'm going to be getting hero ranks passively now. That's very and then, as the last thing for this interaction, because, Taliesin's a little silly, I'm going to go use the Terraform action of Guiding Light, which will have a little boosty because I'm connected to the area. I'm just going to go for a healing effect and just try and healing light that swaths around me, and I'm going to try and give myself little healsies backsies.
Yeah, I'll say heal for 3.
I'll take it. I'll take anything I can get, really. Taliesin is then just going to adjust his positioning a little bit, zoom over here to keep the guy on his toes, as I assume we pass the turnover.
Yep. As we, pass it over again. Zephyr. Zephyr just sort of, damn it, I just realized it could have been pronounced Zephyus.
As a reminder, he will be gaining 1 hero rank because he's starting his turn in the area.
Yeah. I see. You're pinning me down. Not bad. Just sort of, you just see him sort of just, strain himself again. I'm gonna pay to get that 1 back. Which is spending stamina, so it's not for naught.
No, I got it.
I do realize
actually, now, if we're being technical here, that is an action that he's doing, so the sword from Strike Them Down would now proc on him to try and futz with that. So if you want me to give a second roll, I
give
can.
A second roll.
Yep. There you go. It deals 1 damage.
Wow.
And it deals 1 damage, and it's supposed to fuck with someone performing an action while it hits them. So, there's that.
Yeah.
So there's that. Feel free to keep explaining. I'll explain other shit.
Just kind of I'll say for this turn he doesn't have that movement, but it's that's a part. It's still a part of general stuff. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4. Just sort of aiming things right. Let's see. As just all of a sudden, he's going to step forward and unleash a wind geyser.
A wind geyser, huh? Alright. Swing a Makaira, a sudden gust, dealing 6 on contact and knocking target double that movement. Bonus action variant of Kaijikia can be used after this.
Kaijikia, yeah.
Yeah. Alright. As he's going to do this, he dashes forward and produces a gust of wind. What Talie's going to do is he's going to try and hero signal jump out of the way and try and then slash him with the funny with a funny sword. So let's go for it. Assuming I can roll well on hero signal. I'm not using Stay Vigilant. No, not too great. Although I haven't used hero ranks yet this turn, I can try and boost that roll, which I think is important. So let me just remember the conversion rate. I think it's just 1-to-1. I could be wrong. I just need to make sure. Yep. Oh, it's number ranks +1. So I'm gonna spend 1-to-1 +1. So I'm gonna spend 4. So I'm gonna try and boost mine to an 11. So it's 1 number higher than his. So let's Bada bing. Taliesin spent ranks 4.
Yep. I'll say on that, 4 ranks, boosting that to a 9.
Boosting it to a, it would be actually boosting it to a 10. So it would actually meet the thing.
It would mean it. I'll say, take 5 damage. However, including cost.
Spend it. Oh yeah, okay, including cost, so that'd be an extra 3. Got it. Okay.
Yeah. However, you're only knocked back, like, you, like, get out of the way, but, like, the edge of the wind still hits you, knocking you back here.
Do I get my attack in on him for Hero Signal or not?
Try, but it's not going to be that easy, because you are getting knocked back.
I mean, I want to give it a shot. Oh, and that'd be a crit, because I was within the area from Guiding Light.
I see.
So, assuming that hits at full effectiveness, that's 10 damage to him, and I'll gain 2 more ranks.
Yeah.
Alright, I'm hearing no objections, so I will do it.
Oh, wait, hold up. Sorry, I just have to...
Yep. Go for it. Let me know when you're good.
Hello. Sorry about that. My dog gained the ability to climb down the stairs. Anyways, yes, but, yeah, sorry about that. So, what were you saying?
Basically, what I'm saying is that, assuming I hit and that crit goes through with full effectiveness, I'm dealing 10 to him and I'm gaining 2 hero ranks.
Yeah. I'm gonna try and use this anytime to just avoid that.
Yep.
Oh. Damn.
I mean, nah, you got a crit. His is a natural crit, though, so, but yeah.
I'll say, you still do get some of that damage through.
Alright, that means that's enough for me to get 2 rings.
Yeah. However, he just steps back. Huh.
Okay.
Nice one.
You know what I'm gonna do then, actually? I'm gonna... As this is... No, Taliesin was in the middle of doing that. I probably wouldn't be able to have the focus to go for that shit, at least easily. So, no, never mind. Alright. Yeah. You know what? Because it is weird with the 1v1, right? As this happens and he's focused on that, as Taliesin gets knocked back, I'm gonna try and have him manifest like a, how do I explain this? Like a cannon construct from the guiding light area, and try and just boom burst into Zephyus from that. So we'll give that a roll. Nah, that's fine.
Oh, no.
That's fine.
However, with that, we seem to be at an impasse again.
Yeah,
So let's roll again.
Well, I think I know who has the advantage.
Bias. Yeah.
Taliesin's gonna gain 1 rank because he's connected to the area right now.
Yeah.
So what's he doing, huh?
Bias is... Yeah, first off, he just lost a few movements, so he's gonna have to get some of that back. Boost. Yep. I'll spend 6 to get 3 more. Yep. Or it would be at 7. So, man, why is 24 formatted like that? Anyways, but he's going to just step down and rush right ahead into Taliesin, using Scale Point Bullet. Whoosh.
All right. Main action, rushes forward, dealing an initial 4 damage using extra movement. What would be the ultimate damage for this? Just so I can understand the circumstance here.
Let's see.
It would be
8.
Got it. 8. So, as Zephyus dashes forward, Taliesin's going to look at that. Don't think I'll let you pierce into me so easily. First off, as he's whooshing by, I'm going to try and have the Reflect Radiance Crystal absorb that action, record it. Maybe.
Yep. You got it.
Alright, cool. So, what Taliesin is going to do, right, is as he's zooming through, he is fast, right? But he is passing through the guiding light area. So he's going to try and have a hand, like a light construct hand, manifest from the area to grab Zephyus out of the air as he bursts through it. And at the same time, if that works, Taliesin will be using his movement action to, try and move out of the way, of course, as he's going to, move over here and try and hit for a retaliating slash. We'll see how this all interacts, of course, and if I need to use my anytime, I will. But let's see it. So, here is the roll for the Guiding Light Hand. I said the roll for the Guiding Light Hand. 8. And we'll use my main action for a Slice of Truth Saber as I'm trying to move into this funny area. So let's see it. Let's at least see what happens with this roll. That is not a crit, unfortunately.
Nope.
But it is still a pretty high roll. So what do you say, Chief? How's this interacting? Do I need to use more shit for it?
Let me think about this for a hot second, because I rolled an 18. Taliesin rolled a...
Oh, sorry, I should clarify as... Oh, well, no, I failed the cannon. Never mind. Ignore what I was about to say.
Yeah, so you're grabbing him and then using the Truth Saber.
Yeah, I'm using the Guiding Light action to, as he passes over it, manifest a hand construct that holds him in place. As Taliesin himself, he'll be using the opportunity to sidestep out of the way and retaliating slash of my own.
I'll say, what happens is that since you guys are close enough, and because this is cool, we sort of, clash. Zephyus's sword, clashing against your own. Both of us will take the difference between these two attacks, aka 3 damage.
Alright, I'll take it. So, 3 Damaggio, which, in return, I will still be gaining 2 ranks, rather, so I'd be up to 7, which means I'm in True Justice now. So, that's wacky. That happens. I see. You said you were quick, but I suppose I was the one underestimating you.
Indeed.
And... Yeah, no, I think that's probably the end of that interaction. That seems like a clash-worthy see how the advantage goes, right?
Yeah, let's go again.
In which case, at the very least, as we're rolling this, the turn will start. So Taliesin is going to gain 2 more ranks. Zephyus, you're going to be gaining 1 because you're starting your turn in the area.
Yep.
Okay. Taliesin now has this. Well, much like I tried before, let's try and cut you down to size. And what I'm going to do, I'm gonna go for Strike Them Down. I have the buff from my most recently successful Guiding Light action, which is the hand. So as Taliesin extends one hand upward for Strike Them Down, his sword hand, he'll be extending his shield hand forward, trying to produce a minor hand construct, or at least an entrapping effect to hold him in place to make this harder to fuck with, right? As I'm going to try and go for Strike Them Down, as Taliesin is going to reposition himself over here in the process. There's all of that, because just as a clarification, if you're wondering where the hand is coming from, as a reminder...
It's a Guiding Light construct,
It's the Guiding Light construct, but specifically the effect from level 2, where the last used effect connects to my things, so I'm able to use whatever that is to augment my actions, so I'm augmenting it using the hand to try and hold them in place as I do this. This. I'm also in True Justice, which I believe that's in Light that Illuminates All. Yeah, True Justice. If they reach 7 or more, they achieve True Justice form. This boosts their damage and movement by their accumulated hero ranks divided by 2, rounded up. And if they successfully damage an enemy, I on pass. That's not happening. So,
Yeah.
bada bing. All of this being said, here, strike them down. 13.
13? Yeah, being held down and being stricken. Zephyrs is going to try and, let's go for a crashing vortex, as in defense they sort of like twirl around the blue swordfish, which you now know as Kajiria.
Kajiria, yeah.
Kajika, yeah. Sorry, couldn't exactly figure out how to pronounce that.
It's all good.
But yes, yeah, just manifesting a vortex of water around you.
All right, a vortex of water. All right, so he's lifting his sword to do that, right?
Yes.
Well, as he's already being held in place, I'm going to release the light from Reflect Radiance's crystal and basically have a construct copy of Zephyrs go and knock that sword out of his hand and send it flying. So we'll give that a roll.
You like get him off balance, and because it load roller than you, Taliesin, you take like a bippy 2. Okay. But other than that, like the vortex like it immediately like manifests, but then like dissipates.
Okay. And I assume he's still hit by strike them down.
Yes. How much does it deal?
So at this point, it's weird because I did jump away, so I'm gonna gain 1 hero rank. But at the time that it hit him, it's basically going to be dealing what would be he's gonna be taking 8 damage. There's the spiraling sword, much like before. There's another aura instance on him. Oh, actually, no, I would still gain 2 because it doesn't stack, but he is in Guiding Light, so I would actually gain an extra 1. But basically, he's taking 8. Buffs are cleansed to whatever extent that you think is viable. He has another sword producing another aura stuck in him, and he has another spiraling sword, which will try and fuck him up on the next turn, whatever his first action is.
Yeah. I'll say since he's spent more movement than he has, like, it's not gonna, like, clear that buff, but, like, yeah, because one of the gimmicks with this guy is that he spends his own movement, but can get a fuck ton of it, and is, pretty powerful when he has that.
I got it.
Yeah. So... Yeah.
So, regardless of how much of the buff is cleansed, I do go up, and I have the regular terraforming action from Guiding Light. So I'm just going to try and heal myself again with that.
Yep.
So let's give that a roll. And again, I am connected to the area, so the effect is bolstered very slightly.
Yeah. I'll say, because I gave an 18 to 3, I'll also give a 19 to 3.
I'll take that, I suppose. I suppose that would be it, but I'm not sure how's the advantage looking, because I like to think I did pretty good there, but
Yeah, you're on top. I'll say you're on top. Both of you aren't looking that good, but
that's fair. Okay, if that is the case, then what Taliesin is going to do, it hits another round, which means that Taliesin's going to gain 2 ranks, and Zephyrs will be gaining... oh, that's the wrong number. Zephyrs will be gaining 1. So now I'm up to 13 ranks.
Zephyrs gains 1.
Let me think about this, because I could try and upgrade more shit. The problem is I like having the hero ranks for emergency shit, considering we're at low stamina. What I could do is I could bring something up. Well, I have Guiding Light at level 3 right now, yeah. I could put it up to level 4 by just giving it 2 ranks. Or I could do this. Yeah. I think what I'm gonna do is I'm going to spend 2 hero ranks to increase Guiding Light up to level... Well, hold on. Yeah, guiding light up to level 5. So actually, hold on. Yep. Bring it up to level 5. So let me roll that. GL spending 2. Nah. All right. Well, still spent.
No.
That's okay. It's a roll clear. So that happens. As for what Taliesin's gonna do with his main action, quite honestly, I think what I want to do, right, is let me think about it like this. He's currently there. I could. Yeah. Taliesin is going to look over to Zephyus. Well, as it's clear from what you asked me before, your focus is clearly on swordplay. But as I was saying, if that's the only trick up your sleeve, then surely you won't be able to defeat me. And I'm going to use the Guiding Light action to manifest chains that's going to wrap around his arms specifically, right? To hold them in place and make it so that he can't swing at me. And while that's happening, Taliesin himself is going to jump, dash over here. And I'm just going to try and go for like a piercing stab with Truth Saber. So here's the roll for the chains. Here's the roll for Truth Saber.
Pretty good. But as you chain Zephyus up, he kind of just looks at you. Oh, come on, Taliesin. Surely you didn't already forget. As he kind of gives off a whistle. And a swordfish comes out and from the water, and
he does give off a whistle. Oh, I'm the one who forgot. As the floating ethereal sword will pierce into him to try and interrupt that action. So let's see it. Maybe.
I'll say the swordfish is like knocked off mark by the sword, dealing 1. However, I won't, not to Zephyus, but to the swordfish, but that won't matter because it's going back in the water anyways. However, Taliesin, because it's knocked off mark, instead of 7, it only takes 3.
Alright, does that hit Zephyus at all?
I'm going to say because of, like, it's interrupting the action and the swordfish is, like, disconnected, the way I'm framing it, especially because you rolled lower, is that it's like knocking it off of its mark, so it's like not stepping directly.
That's fair. Do you want to know the funniest thing? That swordfish is still in all my auras, so I still get all those hero ranks. So even if it doesn't damage Zephyus, I'm still gaining 3 ranks, which is very fun.
Yep.
And as a reminder, however much damage. Basically, I don't know how much damage Truth Saber is doing if it's dealing its full 5. But if it is dealing its full 5, it's actually dealing 11 because of True Justice. Or no, it's dealing 10 because of True Justice, sorry.
10 because of True Justice?
Yep, because I was at 11, it increases my damage by half rounding down, so...
You get him pretty good.
Oh no, it's rounded up. Actually, it is 11. Sorry.
Yeah. I'll say with all of that, it's reduced, but still, like, gets him pretty good.
Yep, which means that's more hits. So 3 more.
You're pretty good. Yeah, and I would say Taliesin is still in the lead.
I'm still in the lead. Okay. We're gonna use... I think we need to start playing a little defensively, i.e. I'm going to use Guiding Light to try and heal me up a little bit more again. And I'm also, because of the Guiding Light thing, Zephyus is gaining 2 hero ranks because... or no, Guiding Light failed with that, so never mind. It was actually... I'm just gaining 2. So I'm at 19. And the 17 is the Guiding Light action to heal me a little bit.
Yep. I'll say once again, heal 3.
I'll take it. And
However,
oh, yep.
However, continue with your thing.
Well, no, you go. I was just gonna start going on.
I mean,
my action is.
It would really only be, like, in response to what you're doing.
Mm-hmm. And with that, how bad is Zephias looking?
Too great.
Not too great.
As in, this standoff could potentially be the last one, so
Got
probably
it.
make it count.
Got it. This standoff could be the last one. Unfortunately, I just used Guiding Light to heal me, so I can't use it for that extra horse piss. But what I can do is, let's see. Yeah, let's make this cool, and let's fuck him up, right?
Yeah.
Taliesin, I'm gonna go and use my movement action for mirror image, right? I'm basically gonna try and circle around him at quick speed as Taliesin will go, let's finish this. And if mirror image works, I'm basically gonna try and create 3 mirror images, and basically all of us dashing around him at different angles, right? And like, jumping around, dashing. Taliesin will then try and use this confusion to his advantage, jumping up and going for a downward thrusting stab on Zephias from above. So let's roll the mirror image. Mirror image. I'm gonna be paying 3. That is a 4, so no.
A 4. Taliesin, you sort of realize that in order to finish it off properly, at least, it'd be best to do it 1v1, how the art of the sword is meant to be.
Well, that might be what he wants. I was simply trying to finish it off the way I would, but Taliesin,
I'm just trying to make it cool.
Yeah, I know. Taliesin goes to do it, and as he does, feels, no, that's... I need to recognize my current limits. He holds his sword out. It was a sword fight you wanted. It's a sword fight you'll get. Let's finish this. And what he's gonna do is he's gonna try and dash, right? And in this sense, he's gonna go zoomy this way with the reflect radiance crystal, right? And basically just go with that. And we'll see how this goes if I need to use it. He'll dash over here, and as he does, he's going to go for a horizontal slash across Zephias. So here comes Truth Saber with a wild horizontal, almost upwards diagonal swing.
Yep. An almost diagonal swing. And Zephias responds in kind. With a Kajikia. And a Makara.
All right.
One sword missing, but the other coming towards you.
However,
what do you do?
As this goes and the swords are about to clash, right? Taliesin, I'm going to try and store me swinging this sword within the crystal from Reflect Radiance. So let's roll for that. Maybe. And if it works, Taliesin is going to use 2 maneuvers at once. He's going to release the sword slash from Reflect Radiance to still clash with Zephias, making it so that his sword is held as he's held in place. Taliesin himself is going to go for Hero Signal to try and flip behind him and then go for a slash on his back. So, let's go for Reflect Radiance, minorly, and at least Hero Signal we can roll for. So, here is Hero Signal. Which, I'm not sure if it works.
Do you think?
You know what I can do? You know what?
Can you
considering that? Yeah, I can spend hero ranks for this. So I'm
go
gonna
ahead and try that.
Yeah, I'm gonna spend. Let's see. How much am I gonna boost it? I'll boost the hero signal roll by. Let's go with. I can go for a shit ton and it'll still be okay. Yeah, we'll try and boost this roll by 7. So that's the wrong thing. Taliesin. That says 1, but it's supposed to be 7.
Yep.
So spending that to boost hero signals roll. So if that works, I still need to roll for the follow-up basic attack. So,
Roll your
1,
ball
2.
basic attack.
There's that.
And
Which
1,
will be
2,
dealing 11 damage.
And 1, 2, 1, 2, and through. Zephias trying to bring forward one final assault. However, realizing at his edge, as a reflection is used to just clash against him. And before he can truly react to what's going on, Taliesin is already behind him. And he's taken down.
Game over, Zephias.
As just sort of like a massive like gash opens up in his back. And he falls down to the ground.
As Taliesin demanifests his own sword. There we go.
Yeah. Turn off music, please. You could see like the weird sort of like dust that like makes up Zephias, like not completely dissipating, but like sort of like flowing from his back. Damn it. You're pretty good. Just sort of like slowly like sits himself up, clearly not in any shape to fight, but still like, conscious.
You're quite fast, but unfortunately that seemed to be the main thing in your repertoire.
Yeah. Guess I am a bit of a one-trick pony. Haven't faced anyone as strong as you yet. This place, and by extension me, I'm more of a recent creation. So, there's still plenty of, room for me to grow, of course.
Certainly. Of course, keep practicing the swordplay. But, much like we were saying, I'd recommend trying to develop some other techniques to ensure that people can't trick you. Swordplay is great and all, but it can't be your only trick.
Sure thing. As Zephias just sort of, takes the two swordfish and just tosses them back in the water and they swim away. Maybe I can ask Cyprus for, some touch-ups over here. Kind of hard for a guy to, make every space as powerful as possible when there's, what was it, 36 of them? Yeah, sounds about right.
And all of them exist simultaneously?
Shakes hand. Yeah, I guess they're existing in their own sense, but the only ones that are theoretically real are the ones that they summon into the real world. Overlay onto the material plane. It's not like other pocket dimension things from what I know. Although, there's only so much I know about Cyprus's stuff. I mean, not only is it the stuff that they told me, but yeah, I just, being a part of them, intrinsically know some stuff. Right. However, yeah, just sort of looks around. Even though it's not your only trick, you're pretty good. What kind of teacher did you have, if I may ask?
He, like, for a moment, as he demanifests his mask and sort of wipes away some of the dust that is smoke from the sand that's been kicking up as they've been dashing all around.
And yeah.
Much of it is my own experience, but other than that, family.
I see. I ain't gonna ask too much further than that. I imagine it's personal, but
you could say
still.
That. Much of it does come from experience, though, as I mentioned. He looks to, like, the waterfall and then, like, the light that's peeking over on this side. When you do as much business as I do, you put yourself through enough scenarios to gain plenty of, well, I hate to keep saying the same word, but you experience a lot, and that can shape you, and you learn much on the job. But much of my base was informed from family, yes.
Growth comes from hardship. And after all, don't need to get into it. I was just curious. But you're quite an interesting fellow, Taliesin. I wouldn't mind a rematch, but I imagine you're a busy guy, so...
Well,
I wouldn't.
He, like, turns around to look at him. You are right in that I am usually rather busy, but... At this point, again, I'm recuperating. I'm not so busy at the moment that I can't spare a rematch at some point.
Sounds fun. No pressure. But, still. Maybe you can even bring a friend. Who knows?
Perhaps. Wouldn't that go against your... Well, maybe not go against. I guess it was my presumption that you wanted to test primarily on one-on-one swordsmanship. Would that not clutter things?
There are other people here. We can do a 2v2.
Perhaps. However, usually when it comes to these training endeavors, I tend to go it alone.
Alright. Suit yourself. As Zephias just nods, gives you like a 2-finger salute, and then hops up these rocks, and then just sort of like runs, seemingly just sort of like straining himself a bit, like you see and it gains an incredible amount of movement and runs up the waterfall before they go out of sight. As let's get rewards, and of course, I imagine it's just going to be
it's gonna be stamina. But to think, one person's epithet manifests a swordsman of that caliber, and apparently only recently.
As let me think, because this was more of a simple combat. So it's half stamina rewards, right?
Yeah, Taliesin gets half rewards for now. Yes.
This is what you would get, like after the halving. So
Okay.
you can get 2 stamina from this.
All right. Yeah, sure. I'll take it. So I'm up to 33, which is the same as my prof now. Heyo.
Nice. Perfectly even. As Cyprus, after a bit of waiting around, comes on in, and would you say there's anything else for Taliesin to say?
I mean, just as where's Cyprus, sorry?
I'm bringing him in.
Oh, just bring them in, and yeah, I mean, bring them in. I'll say something.
Yeah.
Oh, there you are. Yes, fun enough. I must say, I'm rather impressed. According to Zephius, you only recently created this area, and yet they're already of a caliber of that. Of course, they weren't able to take me down, but someone weaker, they could surely overwhelm them.
Yes, this was a relatively recent thing. Still I made it years ago, but...
Oh, I see.
Compared to my other training, that's pretty recent. I've been at this game for quite some time.
Years is a lot more understandable than what I assume to be recent, though. He sort of crosses his arms at that for a moment, again looking through this area. So this is all simply created from your epithet? None of this is things that you've brought into this space?
No. This space, yeah, no. All my epithet. Because, I don't have as much power over things that I don't create.
Yes, effectively you are the god of your own realm, but outside of that, you are simply powerful on its own.
That's a way to put it.
He, again, just sort of taking in the whole, like, atmosphere around everything. Well, I must thank you for allowing me this opportunity to train in one of your spaces, although I suppose it's not a very exclusive deal.
Hmm. Not a problem.
Do you accept everyone that applies?
Just sort of thinks. I have so far, but I could see a couple scenarios in which I may not. Depends on the person.
Simply curious. DBA has many types of folks.
It's a case-by-case basis. Most of them have been fine, though.
Well, I suppose that's good to hear, so long as you're getting something out of this. Whether it's satisfaction with your altruism and seeing people fight, or something else. So long as you're happy and there's mutual benefit, then
yeah,
I suppose it works out.
I mean, I guess if it brings this, I guess also partially this is also kind of my training. I grow from my denizens succeeding, but again, not the main motive.
That's understandable. There are many people that go to DBA simply to get stronger, so you're one of them and you're doing it in your own way.
Indeed.
Well, again, thank you. Unless there's anything else you require of me, I believe that is all we've scheduled with our allotted time here. As Taliesin checks his watch.
Yeah. You got your fight. You grew a little stronger, and it's all good. And again, if you ever need to get into contact with Zuru, just points to themselves. I'm always available. There's the occasional figure in a green and red outfit. They're probably connected to him.
Well, if they're required, if it's required at any point, I'll be sure to come to you. Considering you have a sign-up board at the DBA, it's not very hard to find you.
Indeed. Well, it's been a pleasure having you, Taliesin.
Tell Union that I say hi.
Just nods. Yeah. As twirling their staff again, the space seemingly sort of collapses, and they're both set out.
Yep.
And that'll be the end of this edition of Cyprus's interdimensional gauntlets.
There you go. Wacky.
Yeah.
Wow.
Wacky.
Taliesin is one more bounty or session away from getting regular stamina rewards again. Woo!
Yeah, baby.
Yeah.
So
it was really a pleasure having you here today.
I'm happy to hear it.
Yeah, especially since not only did I think it was interesting for Taliesin to interact with Bloodstone like this, I also immediately thought of the aesthetic of someone swordfish jumping out of the water and someone grabbing it, and that's what inspired this whole place. So
I mean, yeah, no, it's a pretty fun aesthetic for sure.
It's really
just
cool,
because
yeah.
it's being asked in chat, do Cyprus and Taliesin gain any comp?
People don't normally gain comp. Though I guess they're more normally.
If not, then that's fine. It's being asked, so I may as well ask.
I'll say because for various circumstances, let's gain 2 because it's
2.
fun.
All right, sure, I'll take it.
Yeah.
In which case, yeah, I'll put it here.
Yeah.
Thing. There we go.
The funny
all
they.
right. Yeah, the funny they.
Yeah.
No. Yeah. It's real funny, right? Because I mean, it's always been a thing we've known that Taliesin has crazy interaction potential and a lot of inner working mechanics. But playing him in a 1v1 is oh boy, it's I'm just gonna keep explaining how these mechanics work because normally I just have to keep track of it, right? But it's the entire fight, so I just gotta explain what's going on and how it's happening.
Yeah. No, it was fun. I specifically upticked Zephias's stamina from what Taliesin was for this exact reason.
Yeah.
And also gave him the weakness of that they have to spend stamina to get extra movement, which they spend, so
Yeah, no, I mean, listen, hey, the thing is that I was always I was trying to save that extra true justice thing in case, because I was kind of on low stamina there. In case I took a big hit, I couldn't dodge. Of trying to do it because like I had enough stacks to where I could heal myself for like some crazy horseshit, like anywhere from like 10 to 15 if I succeeded the roll. So like, like or I guess up to 18 if I really needed to. But
Yeah.
I was trying to stockpile it for that. But yeah, no, I mean, you got pretty close to down. It's really it's really interesting with Taliesin, right? Him being in a 1v1 because like in the 1v1 system, because like in a way I feel like he's worse in that he doesn't have allies to like help him out that also don't scale with hero ranks, right? So he's worse in that he's not buffing his allies. But in a way, he's also like way better because that means he just focuses all of his shit on himself and it procs like a lot quicker, you know?
Yeah, yeah, he has a different game plan in a 1v1.
Yeah. It's definitely funky, and it wasn't. I guess I never really considered it, but it's really fun, and it's seeing how it's fun seeing how that interacted. Yeah.
For sure. Yeah. Well, anyways, it was a pleasure. It was a pleasure having you here. Glad we could get this done.
Out to Ziwe, yeah.
Yeah, out to Ziwe, and also we could have something this Saturday.
Yep, of course. Yeah. So, with all that being said, if you're new around here, you've enjoyed yourself, and you want to know when, where, how, why, you can catch up with more of the things we're doing here on this Twitch channel, whether it's more Cyprus's Dimensional Gauntlet, other DBA things, or its spin-offs, other tabletop RPGs, or anything else we end up doing on this goddamn channel. You should join our funky Discord server. Fine dining, yo! You should, go there. It's community Discord. Go there to get notified whenever we're going live. Planning on going live. Post the memes and fan art if you have it. Get involved with the people that watch this thing. It's the community Discord. So if you're interested in the community, go there. And of course, thank you all for watching. We couldn't do this the way that we do it without all of you. It's fun having this be a game and a thing to entertain other people. And of course, biggest of thanks to Kakapo for running this and the whole Cyprus Dimensional Gauntlet thing in the first place.
Not a problem.
Yeah. So, thank you all so very much. And with all that being said, for now, thank you all one last time, and say goodbye to chat, everybody. Yo!
Goodbye, chat.